talk.
Ba ba ba
Yeah.
ba ba
Yeah, we
na
got
na ba ba ba.
Okay, we're good.
Banana.
Did you bring your galoshes?
Nice. That's awesome talking. Okay, so hello. Welcome to Spectrum Street Epistemology, episode something longer than I have time to count for. Another episode of Spectrum Street Epistemology. We are here to practice having disagreement together on purpose, and to do that with empathy and playfulness. And so, as you may remember, the goal of this is to pick a line other than neutral after we start to represent your beliefs or your made-up beliefs on a topic. The goal here is to become as emphatic and certain of your belief as possible, even if you don't normally represent that one. And our goal is to get a spectrum going. So we would love to have a volunteer for each of these questions. If you've been here before, consider doing it. And then I will switch into a different avatar and coach you from the sidelines. Yay, Quantum's here. What else we got? Lau's here. Any questions about what we're doing?
Thanks for calling, anyways.
Hello, welcome.
Yeah.
No questions. Okay. And Beef Boy, you're welcome to join in and hop in. We love for everyone to participate, even if you want to stay closer to neutral. That'll make it less likely you're called on if you want to do more observing. But yeah, hop on the line. Everybody stand first on neutral. Would anybody like to facilitate our first statement, which is bananas are the funniest fruit? Wow, no takers.
I can go first. It's
You
okay.
want to go first? You're going to do it? Lau's going to
Yeah,
model
sure.
for us. Okay,
Yeah.
good. I don't think I have a banana avatar, but Lau's gonna take over. I'm gonna find a different avatar.
Do you have monkey?
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Or just
Take some time.
anything. But yeah, Lau, why don't you tell us how is this gonna go?
Okay, so yeah, sure. Okay, so first we're gonna choose our line. After we start, we're gonna choose the line to stand on.
Mhm.
There's a spectrum of it. From agree to disagree. We're gonna go from the first question, which is more chill, more tailored. Bananas are the funniest fruit.
Mhm.
And then we're gonna start by guessing the other side's opinions, like the opposite sides of yours.
Mhm.
After revealing our opinions, like the opposite sides of the opinion, now it's your turn. They guess as yours.
Mhm.
After that one round, which is like all of us reveal our opinions, we will go for round two, and we can choose if we want to move our lines, our positions on the lines on the spectrum, and then we will ask questions and review. What is your reason in moving a lot?
Mhm.
That's basically how it goes.
Yeah, I like it. So why don't we'll keep coaching each other on the way there, just in case anybody forgets the rules. But yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
We can start now. It's pretty early today. Okay. Everyone, be ready. Countdown. 3, 2, 1. Move.
You know what?
I'll come over
I'll
here.
fight for
I'll
this
join
one.
you. I'll fight for it too, which is ironic, but I won't tell you why. Okay. Wow. Not a
Wow.
perfect spectrum, but a spectrum. The goal is to
It is a spectrum,
get as clearly as you can behind your argument. But yeah, let's do this. I gotta get
Left side? Disagree. Right side is disagree. Okay. So we have our spectrum here. Okay. Let me think. Okay, we can go on quantum, Helios, and Joseph side first. You guys can guess why three of these, Armani, George, and Vania, why do they have disagree on bananas are not the funniest fruit? They don't like banana, or they're not passionate. Why is that?
So what we're doing, Quantum and I, we're guessing why Venia and George are over there. Oh, and Jose. Jose and I are guessing over that side, right?
There, I'll change my hues to yellow.
I'm becoming a food group, but not a banana. Okay. So let's see. Why are bananas not the coolest fruit? Funniest fruit. They're not the funniest fruit.
Yeah, they're not funniest.
Because they're actually quite practical and serious, and should be treated with respect.
Wow. It's not the funniest fruit. They are a cold fruit. They should be treated with serious manners.
They're the adults of fruit.
Is that not anyone?
They're the adults of fruit.
They are the adult fruit.
No, that was definitely not on my reason.
Okay, that's not it. I didn't get it. Who else wants to take some guesses?
I guess I'll take a guess then. Vinia, you disagree that bananas are the funniest fruit because you don't believe in the vision of the banana. You know, the banana has many uses as a fruit. I feel like you're not thinking about that when you disagree.
You don't believe in the marketing campaign
Maybe.
for the banana. Is that it?
Potentially.
They've been misrepresented.
That's not really my reason, but the mere statement of that applies to my reason, but the statement
Let's
itself does
go.
not.
I had a partial hit.
Okay, partial hit. Gotcha.
Yeah, partial hit.
Jose, you want to take a
Okay.
gander?
It's because coconuts are funnier.
Coconuts are funnier. Did we get anybody?
That is a true statement, but not the reason why.
We didn't get George's either. Huh. Bananas are serious. Or yeah.
We have some misted, a lot of misted.
Oh, we missed
It's
it.
okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, only partial hit on Vania. The others missed everything. Okay, so why don't you guys tell us what's the actual reason? It's time to reveal. Vania can go first because we got a partial hit, right?
Yeah. So mine is very much the great long lemon is wonderful as a fruit. I really appreciate the long lemon, but it's also a little bit evocative to say that the banana is the funniest fruit when there are fruits all over the world that people have not been exposed to that are just fundamentally funnier. For instance, consider the rambutan, which is literally just a squiggly fruit. It's full of seeds.
Oh,
It's just a really weird, amazing, nucleic,
really-
definitely should not be real fruit. Then there's
It's
the
a
kiwi.
furry
about these questions, man.
fruit.
It's encouraged.
See? So it's a bit ethnocentric to put the banana at the core of fruit experiences when it is very literally a clone. It is the most basic. It is the most single string of all fruits.
So true.
And I kind of feel like certain strains of banana went extinct for a reason. Maybe they were born.
You're giving Jose a fruitification here. So you're basically cancel culturing bananas as yesterday's funny fruit. And nominating
I
some
find
other
them
fruits.
ethnocentric. To think that a banana is automatically the funniest fruit. It is
Okay.
ethnocentric.
We
This
must
was fun. I appreciate it.
hide our
Thanks.
faces in banana shame here because we have agreed to this.
I can't believe people are
Banana is
thinking
too
this much about
basic.
these questions,
They
man.
need to. It's real. This
Don't
is
get
good
me wrong.
practice.
I appreciate a long lemon.
The long
What?
lemon.
Why are you
Oh,
calling it a lemon? I don't
It's
understand.
a long lemon.
it's insulting.
But it's-
We're supposed to feel insulted. Okay.
It's the
Okay.
great long lemon.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
feeling massively disrespected right now.
That's part of it is you get to feel aggravated. Okay.
The disrespect is
It's
crazy.
okay. Don't take it personal.
Yeah.
If you do take it personal, I will recognize your position in a banana camp.
Nice. George, do
I
you want
won't
to?
sail on
Okay.
that banana boat.
What about the other two?
Yeah. What did we miss for you, George?
Which of you want to go first?
Or Armani?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Oh yeah, I'm ready. Venia mentioned they are ethnocentric. I find them to be phallocentric, which is funny when you're a 13-year-old boy. But come on, folks. There's plenty of cultural references to other fruits. Like the watermelon is so much more satisfying to watch explode in any number of manners.
Mm-hmm.
And Wonka himself inflated the naughty kid as a blueberry in the timeless classic.
Mm-hmm.
And there's countless more overlooked, but for some reason, I feel gross just thinking about it.
These are
we could be more colorful.
anti-banana. Yes. Okay. Got it. So your call out is that even in the respect that you can slip on bananas, you can also slip on many other kinds of fruit, and they blow up in more interesting ways.
Yes.
Let's move beyond the phallic.
What does phallocentric even
Phallic?
mean? Oh,
Erectile
Banana just smashed in
bro
piece-
wasn't
like
even
what? Saw?
trying, and he got me.
Jam.
Part of mine.
Well, watermelon has
Damn it.
Counter hit.
Sorry
Fascinating.
for cutting off. My
That's okay.
watermelon is more visually beautiful when it comes to smashing it. Okay. But I want to go too. Like, what's the reason?
Yeah, I'll be brief here and just say it's the reason I'm not completely agree because there's I guess expanding on the definition of funny for bananas. It's like could say statistically in terms of a shape or deviation from like a sphere or different shapes, it's funny in terms of an outlier, but even then there are other fruits in agreement to more of Vinny's point about there being just different shapes of ordinary fruit even that are funny, but I'm kind of questioning what funny means here. So it could be funny in multiple ways, statistically, and so I disagree that they're the funniest for that reason, just because they're there's a great variety of what you can consider funny at all. So yeah.
The long lemon. That's interesting. So, anybody want to try summarizing, or do you want to try summarizing Armani's point?
Basically, I'll try. Basically saying statistically in the meaning of funny, like not like it can be a lot of funny, like in a lot of perspective. Banana has its own funniness. Another fruit has its also like its own funniness. So like maybe banana is not the most funniest fruit.
Yeah.
Did I got it right? Or
All fruits have their own funniness.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Not funny enough, Mr. Banana.
Not funny enough. Ugh, we don't even have any banana avatars. Ugh. Okay. Do we get to flip?
All right. Sim, you're welcome if you want to join. Okay, so now let's turn the tide. We can start choosing where we want to stand again.
Oh, nope.
Countdown
Not
in
yet.
3. We can.
Nope. They gotta guess our
Not yet?
side.
Still gotta guess.
Oh, right. I'm so.
We are
I'm
invalidated.
still trying to be waking. Yeah.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
My bad. I'm still trying to wake up.
Yeah, you're
You're
good.
fine.
You're fine.
Okay, so now, in the tide, we are guessing what quantums here and Jose is, what are they on? Why did they agree on banana is the most funniest food?
Mm-hmm.
I think they're
Mm-hmm.
given my criticism. I think it's important I at least guess first. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sure.
I think there's a certain pop cultural pedigree to the, as George mentioned, phallic-shaped fruit. But it's not necessarily just a matter of pop culture, because bananas in and of themselves have found themselves in timeless movies, timeless classics, cartoons, Slipping on the Banana. But they've also found themselves into elementary schools with great effect. They've just been hugely impactful for a lot of kids actually enjoying and coming to terms with having to eat their fruits and vegetables. So I think that might be a really good reason why
What
we
is
have
this deep
purposefully
thinking, dude?
attached comedy to the banana in order to make sure that children actually learn to eat their fruits, give them one to laugh at. Yeah.
I would say partial hit for me. As a hamburger, I will give you that it is a ploy to get the kiddos to eat the healthy food.
Don't let us have this one.
But as a hamburger, I will also say that I
Okay.
find bananas the funniest fruit because people don't eat them. I mean, part of what's funny is how often they just rot, and then they eat me. So that's my argument.
That is so
It's funny because they're kind of losers to some degree. I win.
That is so
You
sad.
don't get the objective done sometimes.
Diabetes,
That's so
anyone?
sad.
Diabetes?
That's so
Okay.
real.
I'll just give the full hit out at this point, man. My
Oh my
reasoning
god.
was not that complex.
Yeah, but you are on the strongly
No.
agree. Save us. Win. What's
With my
yours?
reasoning for why I've been hit fully at this point.
Mhm.
I don't know. It was mainly just the slipping on bananas as the comedy thing,
Mm.
the movies, seeing them in every movie, and
They're the
then
original
games as well.
comedian. Jose is 100%. Yeah.
And then also
Yeah, he can.
the phallocentric part
Mm.
was part of it.
Mm-hmm. Bananas win. In any moment, they hold a representation that many can react to.
Yeah. Contrary to that, star fruit.
And
Yo.
kiwi, technically,
Look at this
because
complex, man.
you are one.
The complexness
Rambutan
of
and
these
Feijoa.
thoughts is
Okay.
crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This one was interesting.
Okay, so we got a hit on
We
quantum.
swayed people.
We got a partial hit on here.
Mhm.
Now we still have Jose and half of the hair on the spectrum. Who want to take a guess?
I think I
Didn't
explained my
Jose said
second
he was
half.
100%?
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
did you already get hit, Jose?
Yeah, it was the banana peel.
Nice.
That's it.
The
It's
slippage.
hilarious.
Yeah. An original
Oh.
comedy tool. before anything else. I'll just pitch this a little bit more. Picture cave people. They're drawing the war scenes on the wall, and then they buy a banana, or they find one or something, and they slip on it, and all that trauma just gets washed away by watching somebody slip and fall on a banana. That's how far
It's
back
even funnier when they eat
bananas
the
go.
banana and they throw the banana peel and they slip on their own peel.
Exactly. They slip on their own peel. I mean, that's just such a classic. They win because they were there first.
That sounds like a doctoral art history degree, specifically a thesis on bananas at the caves of Let's Go.
Oh, that's precious, precious. We can all laugh at bananas. Okay.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Okay. So, yeah, we're good now. So, let's start to move our positions. And if we change our mind, this is the time. This is our chance to move. Okay. I'm going to count to 3. I'm going to count down 3 seconds so we can move to our, changed mind. Okay, now 3, 2, 1. You can start moving. Banana is my favorite weapon in Mario Kart. Wow. That is so rude. I hate the banana when I play that game. That ruined my friendship, man.
Oh, no. We've got banana trauma over
Friendships
here.
are forged in Mario Kart.
I got
That's how you test a real
once
friendship.
time I got like 3 banana right in front of me. I do not know why they hate me so much, but I got traumatized.
You got traumatized.
Banana
You could never
trauma.
play Mario
The next
Kart.
We got a
again.
lot more on disagree.
That's it. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so
Okay.
we moved.
This is a lot of people move.
Didn't we all?
Rania, why can you explain? Yeah, a lot of people move. Like most of them.
Wow.
Armani didn't move.
I think I convinced myself out of my own point at the behest of Quantum. I convinced myself out of my own point trying to think about it's a little bit ethnocentric to consider the banana in all cases to be the funniest one, but it is also the pop culturally most imperial one. It won. It is the empire of the banana now.
So we convinced you. We brought
It
you
did
back to the
win.
cave days. Yay.
I think it's wrong, but it did win. So there's just a certain objective reality to the banana.
Yeah. And the texture,
Yeah.
the slippery sliminess of it.
Man,
Yeah, same. Overwhelming references have weakened my position as well.
Not knocking the
I guess we
banana
slipped.
so much. Yeah. You
We found it appealing.
Nice.
you fell on my track.
Okay.
That's right.
Or I guess you slipped on
Looks
my
like
track.
Nina
There
is
you go.
confident.
You activated my trap fruit.
Holy. What is this?
They're just lips. See, when I talk,
They are just lips.
they open. Hello. For those
If
of you
Kale
who
moved the
can
most,
It is
why don't you explain why
genuinely
you
terrifying.
moved to disagree?
see.
Yeah, it is terrifying.
So I moved the most because, I remembered that I am very allergic to bananas. And so I do not want to encourage their use, and I don't. Yeah, pretty much. Lips is where the allergy starts. So it starts swelling up with these bubbles on it. It's very uncomfortable, and then if I don't get away from the bananas, then I start breaking out in hives. It's not good. This is all that's left at the end. So
Really living in a dangerous world.
I really am. You think
There are
nuts are
bananas
bad?
everywhere.
That's right.
You can't
Banana
have
is a bit too
great American
deadly funny
shapes.
for you.
You can't have a banana split.
I know.
Oh,
No, what I would
horror.
actually,
Yeah.
that was a point I was going to make if there was room on this side, is I was going to be like, when I get to the part of the banana underneath the ice cream, I laugh. So maybe that's why it's funny, because I can't eat it. It's like the unpleasant surprise at the bottom.
I want a banana split without the banana.
Yeah, seriously, that is exactly what I order. Yeah. They're like,
Banana
you just,
split without the banana.
so you just want
That's
ice
just the
cream.
split.
I'm like, yeah, I do. I just want ice cream.
How do you split the one thing that's supposed to be split without that thing being present?
I know.
You have to theoretically split it by way of quantum physics.
I see.
Oh, my lips are not enjoying that part. Okay. Did anyone else move
Okay,
really
okay.
far? We got Jose over.
Not really.
But if you all want to explain why y'all moved, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the time.
We even got Beef Boy over one. So look at that. So who else wants to share why they moved at least
Oh,
one
Not
over?
moved at all.
What did you say,
No,
Beef?
Beef Boy is still neutral,
Not
right?
moved at all.
Oh, you
Yeah,
didn't
neutral.
move. That is
Not
neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. It's with the grain. Okay. Not Beef Boy. Who else? Jose, why did you move?
All of this talk and an analysis about bananas made it less funny for me.
We killed the bananas by
This
talking about them
question is
too much.
making me really hungry.
That's funny. Okay. Gotcha.
I'm frequently told that comedic things are made less funny when I overanalyze them.
Oh, yeah. Same here. I could have launched into a whole lecture on the nature of comedy and how it's very edgy, and bananas don't have the edginess to stay the funniest fruit.
That is hilarious. The pineapple emojis. That's great.
That's it. And tomatoes. Flood it with other emojis. Anybody else? I think Sim moved.
Should I explain my neutral opinion?
Sure.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's a fruit or just like a food and type, so if it gives me energy, I don't really care. It's funny, you can eat your opinion. If not, that's a complex choice. Next day, you probably just think like, different food funny. You'll constantly change how you view stuff over the years.
Some days it is,
So-
some days it's not. Okay.
You'll be.
Okay.
It's kind of like just a meme almost. Just like it'll be funny right now, later on it'll be not. It's like a matter of opinion how you go with mom mentality.
Mm.
Banana is not the king of all time.
Yeah. Some days it might be, though. How many people here
I
do
do
you
wonder
think...
if the hilarity of the banana comes with the form of the banana, just the same as the potato, because a banana might be funny, but banana bread, that's a pretty serious endeavor. And banana chips, well, was the funny taken out alongside the moisture?
That's interesting. The crunch of the banana chips. How many people here will smile or cringe the next time you pick up a banana because of this whole long, drawn-out conversation on bananas? Show with emojis.
Neither. I will
Neither?
open my mouth and go.
I will reconsider
Okay.
if I should
I'll eat
consume
it.
the banana.
I will eat it. I like the banana eating pledges. I will still eat a banana, but not laugh.
I eat the shit out of a banana, I won't
Oh
lie.
God. Oh God. That's a graphic image. Okay. Thank you. Let's all give
Okay.
wow emojis. Thank you for leading that one, though. Emojis. Yay. I will turn.
And I'm still waking up.
Yeah,
It is
no,
quite
you're
early here.
good. I
Wake up.
appreciate you.
Me both.
did it.
Wake up.
You and me both.
Thank you.
Wake up.
Lots of waking up. All right. Who would like to do
Thank you.
question 2? Quantum, are you volunteering?
I'll do the third question.
Really? Okay.
If we
Okay,
get
Do we
to
have any for the second one?
Yeah. Anybody want to volunteer for number 2? If you've been here before, you are eligible. No. Okay. I will do 2.
If you do wanna, I
Alright.
can do it. If you do
Wanna
wanna,
And then-
because I wanted to do the question, but it's I'll
Okay.
sacrifice.
All right. Vinny, you want
If you want to do the third one, I can do the second one.
Okay, Vinny is going to take it. Cool.
I can do
All
the
right,
second
if you
one.
do
if
want
you
to
wanna
take
do
the second one.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, cool.
We have a
Stand behind Jose.
we're given
Something is going on.
hey
with my
some
avatar.
easy day.
That's right.
It's
Given
okay.
My avatar is currently clipping through my view.
Jose has
I don't know how
joined
to
the
solve
ride.
that problem.
I think there's one for me too.
It looks normal for us.
Your avatars.
Yeah, but it's currently taking it's bordering my view right now.
Could you
Like
try
I can
like
actually
switching
see
avatars?
myself. Huh?
Could you try switching
Yeah,
avatars?
switching. It's not
Switching and then switching back.
I haven't had this
I
experience.
think you can see better now.
That's really weird.
Yes.
You can try to
much
switch to
better.
your
You
dog
know what?
and then switch
You know
back
what?
to this
We're
avatar.
What's
okay,
up, Vinny?
that's fine. We're Zelda now. We're Zelda.
We're
now.
Zelda.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Nice.
We're Zelda now. All right. So for the second topic, voice changers make it harder to trust people. One of the biggest considerations that you might want to think about, might want to ponder for this specific question is how it's going to impact the various communities that you enter into. How different communities might have different stances on this, and how individuals might have to navigate that, not based upon their own preferences or your own preferences, but based upon the subjective movement between different spaces. So that might be something to consider. So what we're going to do is on a count of 3, we're going to move from the neutral line to the line that we most agree with. Try not to stay on neutral, but if you truly are quite neutral, definitely feel free to stay there. Are we ready?
Mhm.
1, 2, 3. Okay, we have a really decent spread. And the simulations is tremendously distracting. Look at that movement animation. That is incredible.
You're a
I quite
Jiggly.
like that.
Oh, fruit. A turnip with
Okay.
heart.
A turnip, isn't it a what is the special Japanese fruit that is absolutely dethroning bananas? A momochi, I think.
Mochi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mochi.
Mochi.
Not a
Yeah.
turnip.
dethroning the banana for sure.
Mhm. I like the glow
right.
off of the avatar.
Oh. Okay. So now that everyone is placed in their specific area, I would like to have one side or the other go ahead and guess. So let's just start with over here, because we started on this side last time. So let's have George and Beef Boy. I would like you to do me a favor and guess what Ruth's opinion, what his opinion might be about voice changing technology.
Okay. My guess is for a lot of people, the voice changer is itself a sort of vulnerability, an act of vulnerability, especially if they're utilizing it to express themselves in ways they can't with their real voice. So by that nature, it's almost always something that makes them more trustworthy, more true to who they are through that expression, through the voice changer.
I like that one, but no.
Hmm.
I know.
It is
Jose, or
Good try though. Very
half.
compelling.
It's kind of like that, but it's not the real reason.
It's in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Mhm.
we felt the burn of the missile as it passed us. Right next.
Dang, it was a big missile
So
too.
close. So close.
B for Jose.
I'll go. Okay, so
They're probably thinking like, yeah, it'd probably be I'm going blank now. Yeah, my mind's blanking out. I don't know why.
No worries.
Okay.
Thanks for trying.
I think Jose was at the start.
Yeah.
Is my microphone working? Can you hear me?
It's a little quiet over there for me.
Any
Yeah.
other guesses?
Okay, so the voice changer is another mask, just like the avatar is a mask, and I feel the people on that side of the spectrum can look beyond the mask and see the human underneath.
Hmm.
So the voice is a big part of tourism, just like the avatar is. So its changes are just as legitimate.
It's more information. Yeah, I would say you got me on that one. That's good.
Okay.
It's more revealing. And I have a second half to that, but I'll
Okay.
hold on to it.
Does anyone on the more neutral area, do you want to take guesses?
Me?
Well, are you the only...
You're the closest.
Oh,
There's
you
no one
are
neutral.
the only one. I apologize. If you
There's
wanted
no
to.
neutral, though.
I'm on mildly agree.
There's no neutral.
Dang.
That's fine.
Damn.
Yeah.
Maybe because like you can't. Wait, disagree would be.
So it makes it easier to trust people if we are on disagree side.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So-
hold off.
Damn, I got nothing. I won't lie.
That's okay. Heya, you said that
I
there
can't say
was
that.
a second half to your reason. It seems like you were the only one who got hit, so to speak.
Yeah.
What was the second half?
Yeah. I mean, I think that I'm looking at this in a really narrow scope of social VR. So I'm going to disclose that. And that when I've talked to community leaders, what I've heard is that the hardest people to trust, especially in structured events, are people who are not speaking at all. They're typing. It doesn't mean that there's not a frame of inclusivity and whatever, but it can just be really tough to liaison with people that are just typing and not talking over time. That can be a drain. And so having somebody who has gone through the process of getting that voice activation set up so that they can mediate that can be a relief for community leaders. Banana. Is this a code word now for something? Are you trying to break me out in hives? Banana. Oh, now everybody's going to type talk as revenge for what I just said. This is there's the idea of what inclusivity is, and then there's the lived experience of it. And when community leaders are trying to bring people in, people who are on mute can be tough. It can be tough to feel a sense of trust and building relationship, to harmonize that with all the speaking people. So to have somebody who has, it's not easy, I think, to set up the voice changing. So it feels like an effort to communicate and be more intimate, but also accommodate oneself and wherever they can't speak.
Yes. And before I ask how that resonates to the other side, do any of you want to add on to that, Lau, Armani, or Sim?
Yeah, it makes sense to like have somewhat trusting issues and stuff, or just like you trusting it entirely. But it depends on like the viewpoint of the person. Either you trust it not because you have bad experiences, or you trust it yes. But it depends on how you view it and what different experiences you encountered with it. So more or less just how you view it in your own personal space. This question goes.
I'll jump in, at least and add on to kind of the people side, because it's like, for me, I don't see it as voice changers making it harder, but it's more like people make it harder to trust people sometimes, and then there's the whole concept of trust being challenging, and trust is perishable, so trust already makes it as a concept harder to trust. So I don't see voice changers as much of a part of why. So
Yeah, voice changer is just a tool.
I like that.
Okay.
That's the gun argument. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. How you use the voice.
Yeah. And are there any other thoughts on this before we flip the narrative a bit? Okay. So let's talk about reasons on the opposite side that George, Beef Boy, and Jose might have. Does anyone on your side want to take guesses? Loud? Yeah. Enthusiastic hand waving.
They got absolutely catfished online by a random 34 years old uncles. Yes.
Fantastic.
I believe that's the reason.
Well done. Well done. Love that.
No, but you just made me move more further away.
You know,
No! I persuaded my enemies.
You blew them further away instead of hitting them.
I would also like to mention tomatoes are a fruit.
Don't bring that up again.
are
Okay.
pumpkins a fruit?
Oh, that one's tougher.
That's a great question. I believe they are, yes, because their seeds are exposed.
There you go.
Okay. So, looks like that didn't quite resonate, but there might be other reasons.
Anybody get catfished? No. Okay.
No, I just don't trust anyone fully.
Nice. That isn't very banana of
Just
you.
don't trust them.
The meme culture that is going to rise out of this moment. Yeah. Okay. So you're over there because you just don't trust anybody fully.
It's best not to. If you look into the history of the human race, we do not have a good reputation. Because, yeah.
All right.
So Beef Boy's argument is nobody's trustworthy. Okay. I would have never guessed that. Well done, Beef Boy.
You can still trust them, but not fully.
Partial trust. Okay.
Are there any other thoughts before we make a big reveal? Get them from them?
Anybody else want to take guesses on Jose or George or Quantum's reasoning?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
So my reasoning is that they think that people that use voice changers aren't being authentic to themselves. And they want to be around people that are more true to themselves because that's what they value.
Wow.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yay, direct hits.
We have a winner.
You get the
Mine
first.
is partly that, like, catfishing idea, too.
Nice.
I forgot could happen.
Yeah. Okay. Well done. Go
One other
Sam.
opinion of mine if you go into the effort just to change your voice, then that means you have something to hide. And if you have something to hide, then that's not much of a good way to trust someone. So, man.
But no. Not everyone use voice changers to like actually hide their voice. Some of them make it funny. Like, what is the last time you see like those people who use it for content creating? Yeah.
Interesting. That's true.
And those people are usually acting.
And trolls. Right? Sorts.
That seems like a contention worth diving a little bit further into. Quantum, did you maybe want to spend a bit more time explaining that? Go a little bit deeper?
It's really like the authentic thing, mainly. and then partly, like Beef Boy's thing is like it seems like they have something to hide almost.
How
If you're going to effort to spend that much money on something just to change your voice, then like, this makes you think. Like, why spend that much for that?
Like, I could
just like have other alternatives, like chatting or text box writing down, or just saying you don't want to talk.
I'm gonna agree because I could understand if you're like transitioning and it would be easier like to change your voice that way. Like give that leeway, but apart from that, yeah, I feel like it'd be more
It
authentic.
sounds like
to
there's a
just
core
talk
question
regularly.
of authenticity, right? So what does it mean to show up authentically in a space?
Yeah, good question.
Hard to say, but at least perspective. Think of VR chat. Everyone is not wearing their like exact avatar clone of their real life bodies. Everyone has somewhere to hide. Their choice, their matter. Even still, my values is if you're going to the trouble just to like hide your voice or from any other matter, then like I don't trust that for a second. I can trust you at some point, but like not entirely.
So it takes you longer to get to know them.
That's interesting. So it's about convenience of resonance also.
Any responses to that?
I have one, which is we had someone in BridgeMakers show up with a voice changer that nobody had ever met before, just out of the blue. Was anybody here for this? And at some point in that event, they revealed that they had a throat injury and that they had this voice box because they had repeated experiences with people cringing and just feeling like scared when they heard them talk. And so later in BridgeMakers, they actually took their voice modification off and they just talked like normal. And I could hear that it sounds to me like they had some kind of trachea, surgery or whatever. And so you could hear that sound that you've probably seen in documentaries, or maybe you know somebody. You could hear the sound that meant their biology was altered, and it sounded difficult to get sound out of their voice. And so there was just this part of me that was like, oh, that feels painful. I wonder if they're having to talk louder or articulate more carefully because they're using this voice, or they're not using the voice changer anymore. And I felt almost apologetic for wanting to hear their voice because I felt like, are they efforting more and hurting themselves to effort more to speak this way? And so that was a new paradigm for me to realize, like, of course you'd want a voice changer in a space where people are in fantasy avatars and it's very playful. And so hearing somebody almost sound like they're gurgling as they're talking or they're straining really hard could feel, oh no, are you okay? All the time for this person. So yeah, I appreciated their.
I think people
go ahead.
With the electronic voice boxes, it's generally just hard to talk anyways.
Obviously.
Like no matter what they do.
Yeah.
Well put. And you did also bring up individuals who are transitioning, in which case their voices might feel dysphoric in some regard. Which is another good use case. So it seems like there are use cases, but there might actually be expressed limits to what those use cases are.
Yeah.
So let's think about that. Let's kind of put a pin and let's observe that for a little bit. And as we're observing that, let's think about how your opinions might change. And on a count to 3, we're going to go ahead and ask you to move to adjust your opinion according to the lines. 3, 2, 1, go. So, George and Jose, I noticed that you two moved fastest, just almost immediate.
Mm-hmm.
Did either of you want to comment on that?
I realized perspective. It has a huge factor in how people just intrinsically perceive another using a voice changer, and people bring a lot of assumptions or lived experiences to that, whereas the actual person using the voice changer comes in with any number of reasons. Sometimes it's not so good. Often it's a very helpful tool to help them do what they otherwise couldn't, or to communicate with others better. So it just varies so much that it's hard to agree or disagree anymore.
You got neutralized.
Jose, did you have a
So
reason
you
for
don't
your
care about the catfish anymore?
Not everybody's a catfish. Come on.
Oh, that sounds like you've gained trust.
That's right. You can imagine other use case scenarios where that's not the intention, and the importance of making space for that. Yeah, I love that.
Contrasting that.
Damn. I'll take it.
Contrasting that. Oh, did you want to speak,
Oh,
Quantum? Apologies.
I'll take the neutralization on that one too.
Okay.
George, you recruited to the neutral. That's kind of amazing. Well done. Neutralized.
Contrasting with a lot of those, I did notice, Beef Boy, that you hadn't moved. And who's the other one who hadn't moved? I think Hermione.
I moved a little bit. I moved from disagree to slightly disagree.
Yeah.
Mildly. Yeah.
Wow, you
That's
stayed
pulled
in
in
the
by,
same place, right?
Yeah, I did struggle with that, yeah. Yeah.
Were you over here? I thought you were over there. I thought you went by one. Did you move?
I'm always here.
Okay. Interesting.
Simulations, you didn't move either, right? Now that I'm thinking about it.
No, I've been
If
in the
any of
same
you would
spot.
like to... Oh. Apologies, didn't mean to overtalk. Go on.
Oh, I just said that I've been in the same spot.
Gotcha. Okay. Does anyone else have any observations about how everyone moved? Or didn't move?
I was persuaded by Beef Boy's argument about trust. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Beef Boy, how are you
You're
feeling?
so fishy.
Enough has been said, and from to my stake.
Nice.
Gotcha. Okay, well, sounds good. Take a little bit of time, look around, reflect a bit, and we'll move on to our third topic here in a moment.
I just want to reflect that it feels to me like the overall pattern was coming closer to neutral from both directions, but that overall a lot of the agrees came over this direction to disagree. So I think just by diversifying the information of use cases, it softened it for everybody to realize, like, oh, it's not about trust versus distrust. It's about a gradient, and you build trust over time. And yeah, I think there's some good observations.
Sometimes it's not only just catfish.
Yeah, exactly. Not only catfish. Yay.
Any other observations? Okay. So with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to our third and final topic. Quantum, you were wanting to run this one? Yes.
Let's get
Sure, I will run it.
Elections.
Emojis to
and town
Vinia.
halls.
Thank you, Vinia. Woo.
All
Okay,
right, I'll give you the floor.
let's get back on neutral. This is
Little
where
do
we
you
get
know, I chose last time so that I could be a participant this time.
Oh, Vinia's getting geared up. There you go.
No, it's fine.
Good luck, George.
Alright,
You
Or
thought
no.
the banana
Like Quantum.
conversation was going to be crazy.
He wasn't ready. Okay. So this next question is: elections should require virtual town halls. And on the count of three,
Wow.
on the count of three, we're gonna move out to whether we agree or disagree. In 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Damn. Got a
We need more lines.
massive disagree on this one.
George, Lau, you can't go off the grid. Get back on the grid. Tisk tisk.
No rule breakers allowed here.
That's right.
All right, Vinny,
That way there be dragons.
Did you start with agree or disagree last one?
Huh?
I think you started
On
with
the
this
last
side,
one.
empathizing with that side. So,
Okay,
The
so
agree
I'll
side,
do
then
the
the disagree
opposite.
mhm.
All right, so Lau, George, or Beef Boy, do you guys, or Armani
Yes.
as well, do you guys want to guess on why Simulations, Venia, Jose, or Heya agree with the question of whether elections should require virtual town halls?
Yes.
Give
I
it to
think,
George first, I guess.
I think it really town halls have a accessibility and representation barrier, which virtual town halls can really help manage. Yeah, that's it. Way more accessible.
I probably think
I would
that-
say 20% hit. Probably, yeah, 20%. Like 1 in 5. I got 5 reasons.
And Heya has been fully hit as well.
I'm fully
assuming.
pulverized. Well done. I'm a ghost.
Jose is 99%.
Oh, my bad.
1% left.
You're like, it's a
It's
gift.
just you
We're
and me,
going
Jose.
straight to,
Oh no, you were hit
Oh,
too?
No, Jose's 99%. Wow. We did not have strong arguments.
That is a
Any
new
all
plan.
simulations?
Let's see how.
Take that.
how
I understood
80%
you.
on
80%.
Sim. Oh my God, Venya. Last person.
Dang.
You might get the
All right.
award for most hit people with one
He's the
very simple
MVP, man.
statement.
That's new.
Wow.
That's a
There
tactical
it
nuke.
is.
Do I win
Wow.
a banana?
You win corn.
No, you win a lollipop.
So then, Heya, did you want to give your full reason?
Oh, I'm
Or
dead. I mean,
elaborate?
that was very much it. It's accessibility, and that at an era where voting rights is diminishing and disintegrating, having different kinds of conversations about things that we all should be voting for around the world is a good idea.
Hmm.
Why 7-Eleven specifically?
What's 7-Eleven?
Do you mean the convenience store?
They're
Fucking
right.
Jose.
They're
All
old.
right.
Who's old? Wait, I don't understand. What's
The
happening?
7-Eleven bananas.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a
Ah,
7-Eleven banana. That's right. Tasteless, but funny. Or not.
All right. Lau,
probably pulled off the
Armani,
hot dog stand a little too late.
Nice.
Right?
We don't want to take a shot of Vinia and half of Sim over there.
Right.
Yeah, Lau, Armani, or Beef Boy. Do you guys have any guesses?
Probably close agree because it'll be cost effective and time consuming. Like less effective, just everyone just like click a button, easier to go through instead of just going through a whole week of just filling out this one form and then take another week for it to go through. More cost effective.
Interesting. So bureaucratic efficiency is is that argument, yeah?
I'll let on
I think-
to a little bit more. Just before. I didn't want to.
I think my reason actually argues against that.
Definitely not. Did he get 20%?
Sim, do I still have you?
remaining of Sim, or is Sim out? Efficiency
anyone
and
else been hit?
accessibility. Let's see. Sim
Yeah,
is
I'm
working.
still 20% remaining.
Okay, you didn't get anybody. That's a good one, though. I wish I'd had a more dynamic argument.
That is a good one.
In
And
hindsight,
Lau had
I
a guess
Okay, Lau.
as well.
I have a guess, which is a more platform for younger people, but also more like motivation and encourage younger people to attend the elections voting.
That's close.
Ooh, did you get you got Sim? It's a generational thing.
Yeah, and also because I feel like Gen Z, we're more chronically online, and I feel like, I'm just interested in the idea of having VR rallies and VR protests, and I feel like making Gen Z more politically active through the internet, especially like through gaming and VR, I feel like could really help bring awareness and help us be more politically active because, as opposed to driving a few hours to go to your nearest in-person rally or town hall. I've never been to a town hall personally, but I have attended political events in person. I mean, online. So yeah, that's Lau hit it on the head for that.
Look at that. The two of you.
That also hit pretty close for me.
What? Oh
I
my
got
God.
an assist.
It wasn't
Yeah.
hit, but it was close.
Wow. Maybe Armani will ring us in.
Armani,
Yeah,
your
I'll
guess?
try to fill in the rest. I guess it's like I'd say on the angle of participatory, it's a way to, I guess, draw in more of a participatory aspect to a democratic, I guess, small d democratic process to multiple generations, not just through cable or through in person, but another method that's
Yes.
more frequently used.
Yes. So it's a democratic participatory thing where so the reason for my argument has less to do with ensuring accessibility for individuals and more to do with the accountability of forcing the government to do the act. Because if a government chooses not to allow for town halls, if the government is allowed to say no, then they are by default allowed to have an exclusive town hall. Whereas if you force them to have one, it allows for that tool to apply some level of responsibility to the institution. Now that the institution has to do it, they have to do it well. And I think especially when it comes to online future generation conversations, as Sim brought up, it's very important that the government, that the local municipalities have a direct line and understanding of the way that their citizens are interacting online in order to maintain those liberties. Because we no longer just live in a physical world. And if we're living in an augmented reality, we have to ensure that we have a government system that respects all sides of a human's citizenship. So mine's more about accountability for the government system.
Wow.
That was a very long-winded answer.
That's great.
No, it makes sense.
All right. So, Jose, are you still at 99%?
You got any more?
100, 100%.
720%.
Do you want to
Nice.
elaborate on your answer as well then?
No, it was just 100%. I just chose 99 because I'm never 100% certain. So I just give myself a
Oh,
little.
okay.
Now we get
Alright.
to empathize.
So now we shall switch sides. Simulations, Heya, Venia, or Jose, do you guys want to guess on why Lau, George, Armani, or Beef Boy disagree with the statement that elections should require virtual town halls?
Virtual town halls will allow trolls to enter a lot more easier.
Abuses to the system.
Not Laos.
So any hits?
About 10% there for me.
How many?
50%?
50%?
10%.
10. Okay. Good try
So
that.
50% on George
50%,
and 10%
10.
on Beef
Okay.
Boy.
Interesting.
Any other
I think
guesses?
there is an argument to be said, and I think a lot of people might view this argument that if you make it virtually, if you make virtual an accessible option, then it removes a sense of responsibility to show up from the physical places.
Mhm.
So it might actually reduce
The
democratic participation.
Anybody have that one?
Any hits?
Nope. Okay, mine is to stand up something like that, especially if we're talking about virtual reality. There's a lot of infrastructure that would need to be put in place, and that is hard to imagine happening in a like organized and actually like useful way, just because they're going to have the town halls. And if you've seen the news and seen people at town halls, they just yell at the politicians until the politicians are like, I'm not doing town halls anymore. That's not all town halls, but that's what it looks like these days because there's so much polarity. So what does that look like online? Does it get worse? And how many tomatoes can you throw at a politician until they just pull their headset off and be like, I quit? Does it make it more absurd? If we were in all these different avatars debating political issues, and would that absolve us of responsibility? And so, yeah, it feels like a should is a very strong word there. Whoever wrote this. And I'm pointing at myself there. So yeah, that's my argument. It's not a realistic idea in virtual accessibility. Anybody?
15.
I'm a reason, but that's a good one.
It got me about like 50%, 75%.
50%?
15%, so 5% increase.
15? Between all of them, I got 100. So I think I've done my job. So
I don't think that's how math works, but we'll give it to you.
Okay.
All right. Simulations, do you have a guess to round it out here?
Mine was pretty much the same as what Heya said.
Okay. So I'll share my, what was it, 80% with you.
All right. So no complete hits on the agree side. But then, should I just go with like the highest percentages first, or
Yeah. Sure.
just free for all it? All right. So we had 50% on George and Armani. So do either of you want to go first on your full reasons?
Probably a little bit higher, just like in that range. I had questions for almost all 6 of these words in the question. It's like, which elections, how should, which requirements. if we're talking about cable or local TV, is that technically virtual, or what's the umbrella
Mm.
for what virtual means? And
And
then
town,
town hall.
and then
Yeah, which
hall.
towns, and then
Even the period is
what's
questionable.
yeah.
Yeah, just the whole thing. Big question mark.
But no,
That
mostly
is
just the
that is the quote of the day. Even the period is questionable.
Like, what the heck? Okay. Yeah, every single word. You're like, define that. Okay.
That is a good reason.
I'm going to have to guess that from
Okay.
now on. When I'm on one side, I'll be like, you don't like how it was written. And then everybody will fall over and I'll be like, and out.
And set.
Yes, that's it. Scene over. Okay.
All right, George, did you want to give your full reason as well?
Yeah, trolls was a big part. That was half it. The other half was astroturfers.
Hmm?
AstroTurfers?
Nashville.
Yeah, people
Nashville
literally
burgers?
hired to
Astroturfers.
infiltrate and just play deception in these town halls for special interests. And it'd be that much harder to validate that their presence with virtual town halls.
Or I'll add to your argument there, AI. Like, how do you know?
Not right now, but in time, who
Almost.
knows? Yeah.
Oh,
Almost.
definitely
Yeah.
now. I've got
Yeah.
a story for you.
There's
Definitely
thoughts.
now.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's an interesting idea, and kind of adding to it is how much it enables NIMBYs, or not in my backyard arguments, how it might enable NIMBY arguments to go from being hyper local to covering an entire town or a city, enabling them to speak well beyond their own neighborhoods.
Hmm. Can you imagine how long those drawn out ones where the grandma who's retired is like reading the scary child's book they want banned from the library, and they're like, let me read another page, and then you all have to listen to it. Yeah, that could get weird real quick. Real quick.
Trolls come in all ages.
Just cranky old people also come in all ages.
Huckleberry story time.
Yeah. Oof. Okay. Who else?
An
Now
interesting
we have
idea. Thank you for that
Decoy
one.
and Lau left. Do either of you want to go next?
I'll go. The human heart can be very corrupted sometimes. It can manipulate with religious outliers that can just go for an argument for the cause, kind of like almost like a cult. They can just convince people just up for this one cause, things change the vote. And another reason as well is that if you regret your choice later on, because if it's technology, it'll be simple in a few minutes. But if you regret it later on, then you can't really change it, since like digitally, you don't know if you can change it or not, because what people will just pile up and stuff. Plus, another scenario is that technology cannot be trusted sometimes, because people just manipulate the votes subtly, so it just leans in some other's favor.
Oh my goodness, somebody could take stream clips of these town halls and misrepresent everything.
I know, right? That's so intense. Yeah. Virtual anonymity could present all kinds of drowning out arguments.
But you can't really trust the internet sometimes, because I've seen, if you hear some people like that take stories where it's like this one couple marriage, when it says, okay, let's tell it to the internet. What should our new baby be of a name and last name stuff? Do you want to know what they came up with at the end of the vote for the new baby's name?
What?
Cthulhu Allspark.
Okay, so we're not going to form policies in the virtual town halls.
Old days.
Wow.
Plus, if you go through a cause to someone, if people latch into like mob mentality or like a single cause, they will just run with it and snowball affect it unnecessarily. And yeah, you can think of it almost like a Trump almost, where in political stuff, like if they believe, if you keep talking all these like beliefs and stuff, people will just believe it and just go for it because you probably go with those beliefs and stuff. Whereas, right?
Yeah, and on the internet, that's like on steroids. That
the human heart can be very moved very easily depending on the person.
Wow.
And there's a lot of us. It's one of this. You might have a different opinion, but there are billions of other people that have the other opinion. It can be manipulated easily from different wheels. So it's a matter of just it can be very tampered with very easily. Because if it's technology, then they can just people just subtly, not like majorly, just subtly make it so that one side can win, but it won't be obvious. And as another aspect as well, since AI is on the rise, it will become very hard to differentiate from someone that actually wrote this or someone that actually just typed it out in like 5 seconds and just had like 5 other accounts with it. Choice.
Thank you, B-Boy. That's so good. And just so
Plus
for the
another
camera's
argument
sake,
as well.
Venia is also checking in that Jurassic Park has happened at Venia's house, and it is Venia's doom and must stay on mute now. So, last of Venia's voice we got to hear there. Venia will type. And who wants to try some reflective listening with what Beef Boy was just saying? Because that was long and good and rich.
It seems like what you were saying was like the mobilization of people who can think these cult-like ideas, like without really thinking these through or even thinking for themselves, is really amplified on the internet, and they can direct that anywhere and just straight up sabotage. And a lot of times they do sabotage because it's literally a group of trolls, and that's kind of their mission. And they can be as dumb or as clever as they want, and there's no real way to stop it, or no easy way to stop it with these online platforms. At least in real life, like there's a lot more limitations and like accountability at play just in the physical space.
Also the part where it's not just like the trolls, it's also influential groups and hackers as well. And it can pretty much verifies is if the authenticity of this vote is actually meaning anything at any moment, because everyone can just like do like a bot account, or just like people can be a mortality. It matters. It puts in perspective like the authenticity of the vote. Then, like, what does this matter then? Because if you do it in real life,
and even the metrics themselves,
Is anything real? I feel like that was your statement. Oh, Venia's got some in. It's incredible to see toxicity dissipate when you put them at a shared table. That's true. So you kind of have to like force people into their seats to be matched with people who disagree with them, and then they have to like whittle each other down before they can make their arguments in front of people. So you could put them through a bottleneck process of they can't just present their core belief.
My answer is pretty much, I'm pretty much going to simplify the answer. It's pretty much, it's very hard to, if it goes full technical, it'd be very almost hard to know the authenticity of the votes, because even down the line, if it's not just the trolls, it could be upper management where they can just make it the votes that they wanted to have. So it's like, do you believe the government to make the right choice, because they can just corrupt and just manipulate in the background. It's always authenticity is going to be very easily be manipulated down the long run.
It's an interesting piece, maybe a slippery slope kind of piece that you're saying here of like, we're technically just talking about town halls, which is the deliberative discourse before the vote. But there's a party that's slipping into, well, if we're doing it virtually and we've organized that far, why can't you vote at the end of your town hall? And so, yeah, I hear you that it sounds problematic, that process needs to have some time in between it and maybe some more regulation. Penny has got thoughts.
It seems something too.
Yeah. And representatives versus bill discussions are also wildly different. Representatives, by definition, take positions. Bills mitigate. position. Oh, that's great. That's interesting. I've never thought about it like that. Differentiating the policy from the person and how they complementarily work together. So we're saying, I want them to do this job, and I want the job to be this, this, and this. And so that's going to bring a different emotionality to it. Yeah. Thank you, Vinny. It's a whole other level. So for the sake of time, we're going to need to finish this soon, and then we're going to
go ahead. I was worried too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to. Are there any? We want to do our switch.
We could do the switch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So next, if any opinions have changed on the statement that elections should require virtual town halls, we can move on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
This is the Luddite Hub, and I'm forbidding technology here. Join me, true humans.
You literally flew into a box. So you're in the even more strongly disagree. Wow.
So I noticed Jose and Haya, have changed, right?
Jose, did you move from over here to here?
Yeah.
No, I did not. I
you
jumped.
stayed.
Wait, so then only Haya, I think.
Yeah, I moved. We got more polarized. I don't even know if I've ever seen that before in here. That's interesting. This is what elections do. No. Armani stayed. You're holding the middle for all of us. Armani.
I drifted.
You drifted?
So you drifted to neutral? Oh
A
no,
little bit more
mildly
neutral
disagree.
side. Yeah.
Alright, so then do you want to go over why you've moved, Haya?
Yeah, I think it's just for me, Beef Boy's piece about the slippery slope to the elections, and then Vinny's piece, right? Of like, if we bar that, we're not talking about elections. I didn't think of that boundary before, but I think that's important. We're talking about civil discourse around things we're going to disagree on, and we're going to come into a virtual realm to hash it out and be more educated about the voting when it comes up. Like, let's be more educated. Let's learn more perspectives that are not like our own in our little siloed places. And then the bill versus the person, maybe we just try it out with bills, or we just try it out with people, and we don't do both in the virtual space. But I think it's worth exploring. And I've actually convinced from both directions that this is worth trying. I'm making the case for spectrum.
Armani, would you like to explain why you've moved as well?
Yeah, I'll be brief. It's more like in a way, it's like I'm less uncertain about the how, just because there is a way. At least I'm convinced that that there's a way. But what keeps me from going too far over is just that the questions are still there about what it means to have this and how it can be carried out effectively. And
there's too many details
verifying that
to iron out before you would say yes. Or the risk is too high.
More like no, it's more of the former than the latter. Like more of a.
And the sentence is written terribly. You're like, that has just sunk me even further.
I would just say the answer is how. That's it.
How, right. Not should, but how. Nice. Cool. Wow. It's great that we've been doing this for about 6 months. And this is the first time I've seen it polarize both directions even more. That's really interesting to me, because I would have expected it would have done that more.
I really think it's terrible, but maybe better as a question. I'd also be interested to know how this changes based upon
government structure. Oh, yeah.
Country. Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine a super organizer that figures out like these 4 cities around the country are voting on the exact same thing in this month time span and gets these people together in these round tables to talk through their beliefs around that thing that they're voting on? I think there could be really important stories that start to get shared and just more perspectives.
Mm.
That's normal in Colorado. Yay. That's literally Colorado. So we need to be like internationally Colorado people. I would so go to those town halls, but the idea of going to my local town hall just like makes me want to slide under my bed. You know, like there's something about getting to feel entirely other places and hear agreement with me or disagreement that I feel like I could listen to better. You assess deliberative topics based on pending policy and bill petitions. That's great. Something, maybe it's exotic or for me to say it, but there's just something about being able to. I used to hold an event for emotional fluency in alt space where people from around the world came together once a week to talk about one uncomfortable emotion. And sometimes they didn't even know English, but we could convey to them that emotion to where they could mirror it back to us. We would sing it, we would scream it, we would mimic it. And the stories that would come out about that one emotion and how they learned about it was just mind-blowing. It was so cool to like listen to a grandmother's story out of Russia sing a song about how to think about guilt. It's just there's a lot of richness when you line that up. Dinosaur has. Oh, yay!
I can talk now.
You can talk now. Okay, Venia, let's close up with yours.
All
Whatever you
right.
can.
Well,
Up with mine.
Did you have anything else to finish us off? Or are you good?
Oh, I've been talking a lot already.
Nice.
I feel like a lot of us were just transcribing my comments.
Nice.
Oh.
We're all reading your comments. Yeah, go ahead, Quantum.
It's like community text-to-speech.
I know.
I was gonna say, Lau, did you want to go over your original reasoning for fully disagreeing? Or do you
For the sake of time, I think we should proceed first.
Okay. Well, we already switched, so that would be the end of that for Quantum. So let's give Quantum lots of emojis.
Woo.
Woo woo!
Thank you.
Yay,
Great job.
Quantum! And then we're going to come over here and we're going to do our checkout and then we're going to do our photo. Woo! I love the Moki glow you got going on, Sim. It's very you. It's very, very you. Okay. So you may remember, but we're going to throw an imaginary ball around the room and this little bit of improv where we toss this ball that has all the energy and emotions and arguments and bananas and everything inside of it. And we're going to offer an acknowledgement to somebody else. Ideally, they have not been picked already, that somebody else grew us. And it could be what they're wearing. It could be something they said. It could be just some way they behaved. But this is a way to round out the group. So throw it to somebody who's least expecting it from you and will be most surprised to receive it. I'm going to put the ball in the middle there. Can everyone see it? That's where we get our imagination going. Okay.
Yes,
right there.
yes.
Yeah, it's kind of rolling around. All right, so who would like to grab the ball and start our game?
Do it. I'll grab it.
Oh, Vinny's going to get it. Yay!
Link.
Yep, you got it? Okay.
Oh.
It's in Vinny's lap. Vinny's on desktop.
I wanted to say, Beef Boy.
Yay,
I wanted
Beef
to
Boy,
give
cat's
you
ball.
a kudos and a thank you. I know that your opinions were very staunchly focused on a lot of security and development and stuff like that, but you had very strong, well-rounded ways of synthesizing and understanding other people's takes and opinions, even regardless of your very obvious passion. So I really appreciate the fact that you could balance that understanding your own opinions and yourself with allowing you to listen to other people. I think that is to be applauded.
Mm-hmm. Yay. You go, beef boy. You got a gratitude. You got it? It's right there? Yes. Okay. Got it in your hand.
I'm just going to pass it to you because I have nothing. Have nothing to say because.
Oh. Okay. You're gonna hold off on.
Pass it to you, so you pass it to someone else because I have nothing to.
Oh, I get to do it. Yay. Well, thank you. And way to know your limits. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna throw this to. I'm going to throw this to Jose. Jose. I'm going to pretend you caught it. Yay. Turned into cookies. So, Jose, I appreciate that when you did chime in, I felt grounded, like you were, I don't know, slicing something and ending it. I felt like you cauterized things with whatever you said. And that finished things for me. I was like, okay, next chapter. Jose has spoken.
The great end-all be-all.
Mm-hmm. Who are you going to throw it to, Jose?
I'll throw this to simulations.
Knew it.
I appreciate you describing your avatar as a mochi because I thought it was a generic slime monster from a JRPG, but
yeah, I thought it was a slime too.
Don't what would it be called? A fruitism? To misclassify like I did. We all fruitismed you. We apologize. Your mochi glowing self. Okay, Sim. You are kind of a appreciation ball. Who do you want to throw it to?
I'm gonna throw it to Armani.
Yay! Armani got it. Oh, nice. Oh, there's another one. Okay, yes.
Yeah, I just appreciated all of your insights today, and I just appreciated seeing you in VR and your cloud print jacket. Yeah.
Oh, it's clouds. Not camo. Of course.
Yep.
Why has it taken me over a year to figure that out? Thank you, Sim. That makes so much more sense. I think because Armani and Army in my head were just blending. Yeah. Synesthesia. Yay.
Thanks, Sam. I appreciate it. I'm gonna bouncing the ball
dribbling
here.
the ball.
I remember who else hasn't been called on here. I'm gonna toss the ball over to really that's a chance. Toss it to you, Quantum.
Oh, yay! Quantum got it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just appreciate how you hosted today, especially regards to that last question, which can be challenging. So since it's the one that's like the ultimate one, I guess the last one on the list. So it's got the most
punch
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a challenging question.
Yeah. Thanks for stepping up to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
All
more
right,
dribbling.
I'm going to toss the ball to Vania. You haven't gotten it yet, right?
Nope.
And I'll toss it to Vania.
No.
For the absolutely insane theory crafting on the first question, because man, I was not thinking about that question that deep, and you had some crazy insights.
The banana dissertation.
Fruits.
That's right.
Yeah, the banana dissertation.
Banana dissertation. Maybe conspiracy
the
theory.
banana debate.
Mm-hmm.
The great banana debate. It's a slippery concept.
Wink, wink,
And the
wink.
puns.
And the puns.
It's appealing to me, though.
Oh, no. She's gonna knock us out. It's appealing.
Sha-na-na-na-na.
Mhm.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
I presume this means I am going again.
Mhm.
I would like to send the ball next to Lau. For kind of having this way of being very active while also respecting everyone else's share of voice, because it seems like your questions tend to always end with more questions and your answers tend to lead other people to contribute. So
Ooh,
really embodies that.
that's a really good assessment of you. You bridge people into finding you stir people up gently.
Stirring the pot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I want people to be more initiative, but I guess that's a good way to do it by
Mhm.
asking more questions.
Mhm.
All right.
Nice.
Now I only have one choice, but it is my original choice anyways.
Aw.
I'm gonna throw it to you, my dancing
Yay.
buddy.
Yay.
It's not burning my
It is
hands
my
today.
original
Thank you.
Yay. It's not out of the fire.
Okay, so I was low on energy because I just woke up. It is really early in the morning. I only got like few hours of sleep, and
Aw.
like I want to retract my mood, but I do not know how. Luckily, you're here so that I can actually here and there I got affected, so I can retract my mood and energy back.
You're dancing, buddy. You brought
Your
Lau's
spirit does
energy.
affect me.
Mine. Oh, that's great.
So your battery was almost dead, and I was the charger. Awesome.
We need an Energizer Bunny.
The Type-C cable for
Avatar.
Type-C.
Yeah, like a
That's
battery
right.
energy, something.
Wow.
I'm
lovely.
my fire is about to be out, and you give me more fire. I'll
Aw.
explain it that way.
You asked for
Hey.
more
So we
fire?
burn
Okay.
stronger together.
Fire. That's beautiful.
Burn, baby,
Well done.
burn.
Here's some burning lotion for you. Beautiful. Okay, so you have the ball. Would you like to take it home or throw it to somebody that you wanted to appreciate?
I really appreciate Vinia.
Oh, yeah.
The puns, the Vinia, the puns
The
were
puns.
just so amazing.
Fantastic
It's just
puns.
like-
Yay.
and also, how you stepped up for the I don't know what the role is called when people are doing the stage, stand up
Facilitator? Mhm.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you for facilitating.
And how you kind of volunteered for it, but you also did that in a way like anybody else. Like you kind of
Made
took
sure.
that space in a way that felt
Mhm.
like it was a role. It was just kind of a role that anybody could step up to, but also that you were there for it too. Like, and that just was a really nice thing to see.
Yay.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, it is there for anyone to do, and I hope that my inclusion and my ability to do that encourages you to facilitate your own discussions. That means so very much to me. Thank you for telling me that.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I should have added that onto the appreciation. Damn.
Let's get back over to
For
Spectrum.
taking the
All the
question
ways we love
on the second
Venya. How
one.
strongly do we agree? Okay, we're going to do photo.
Photo time.
Photo. And what's our word for the day? I think I know it.
Banana.
Aha! I did know it.
Yay!
Let's wait for
Banana.
Harmony to come.
Banana.
Aw, look at that beautiful group.
Oh, here
Gotta
comes
have
the
our
great
Moki.
motion.
Yeah.
Is it Moki or Mochi? I don't know what the
always-
actual.
I think it's mochi.
Mochi,
Mochi.
you American.
I don't know,
Mochi.
man.
I feel your
Mochi,
shade.
yeah,
I
I
feel
thought it
your
was
shade.
Mochi.
Okay, banana mochi. Right. Woo! Oh, beautiful. Okay, so that's our event for
Who's getting that
today.
banana dance on.
Please RSVP for next week. Please think of your statements that you would like to vote in. And if you want to workshop that with me or know why I didn't include yours, let me know. And what else? Next event will
Yeah,
be
man. What's with the massive disrespect?
next event will be Friday night
My question
at
was peak.
6 p.m. Pacific time, which is our community builder check-in, where we will be doing some world hopping. I think we have an original world creator that's going to be attending next week too, just so you know.
Are we skipping the next Spectrum Street epistemology?
The next Sunday is going to be our summit, our leadership summit, and our helpers are doing their darndest and best to organize that, but could use some help. So if anybody has some check-in or support ideas to offer, I'm going to be doing the workshop, but everything else is helpers are taken care of. So yeah, same time next week for our summit. We're going to do a workshop on the intersectionality of gamifying bridge makers for introverts and extroverts. What do those quests look like? And we're going to workshop that together. If you're an introvert and you're an extrovert. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Please jump on a Discord. Are you on Discord, Beef Boy? I don't remember.
I don't use Discord. I use
Okay.
it.
So you are not. All right. Well,
See?
Yeah.
See? See? You would have been good for the
I
question.
think your question would have, it would have really hit home for some people. Okay. Thank you. Let's all say lots of emojis to each other for this one was, I don't know, it was interesting. We were in it. We worked out, but it was a little heavier today, and I'm not quite sure why. At least for me.
Especially that banana debate.
Yeah. Yeah, that banana debate is, I think we wouldn't have slipped just because of the gravitational pull. But I don't know. Okay. That's it for today. Thank you, everybody.
Can't escape the puns.
I got to take a body break. My head's starting to hurt. Good night.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Good night.